My name is Alan Bright. I'm currently on the Beat99.9 FM Port Harcourt. You can tune in and listen to me weekday mornings. And for Jerry Khan, you can find him live on the Jerry Khan Show and on social media at the Jerry Khan Show. Make sure you tune in, or else I will find you. I won't kill you, but I'll find you.
Hello, welcome to the Jerry Khan Show. My name is Jerry, and I'm so excited to have you on the platform. Now, my goal with this show is to introduce you to the people and the ideas that will help you execute on your dreams. I get to have conversations with people of interest, game changers, change makers, trailblazers. I'll unpack their brains and get to share that information with you so you can kickstart your journey and, live and pursue your dreams. And hopefully it resonates with you. Now, for today, I'll be having a conversation with a friend, a brother, a colleague, and he's a radio veteran. And when I use the word veteran, he's a veteran in every sense of that word. He'll be chronicling his journey on the platform, and hopefully you get to learn something from it. So if it resonates with you and it's something you're interested in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Just hit smash that button and let's have fun together. Let's dive right in. Hey guys, welcome right back. It's the Jerry Khan Show. I did tell you earlier I'll be having a conversation with a veteran. Now the word veteran, my friend, colleague, and brother is a veteran in every sense of that word. Alan, good to have you.
It kind of hurts though. It's a good thing and it's a painful thing to be called a veteran because that means I've been there a while. I'm old, bro.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's great having this conversation, man. I've been following your show for a bit.
Yeah, so, thank you so much.
The secrets, we entertainers, we're secretly very jealous people. So on the inside, I was like, when will be my time? When will my story be told? And here I am. So it's cool.
And yeah, I'm really glad you made out the time to be on the show. And we'll talk about your story.
Okay.
You've been doing radio for a very long time. I know you very well, but for the sake of our audience, tell us about yourself and how you got into radio. Just chronicle your journey. Let's start from there.
Okay, my name is Alan Bright. Initially, I started where most people start, oil and gas. That's where everybody wanted to be growing up. You had very few options. Either you were going to be a lawyer, a doctor, engineer, or one of those things. They had almost everything listed out for you. Anything that was deviating from that, people would think you were unserious. So back then, if you said you wanted to go into broadcasting, everybody would just go like, mass comm, that's for girls. Even though there were already male broadcasters. So the stigma was always there, even though people always kind of used to tell me that my personality would fit stuff like that. I'm a bit reserved, but when I want to talk, I can be chatty.
Of course, yeah, alter ego.
Exactly. So, it started, I was in the oil and gas for a bit, started work, and then it was random. A friend of mine, he worked with Garden City FM, Kobe Okoye. He was doing sports with them then. And he called me and he was like, they want to talk about wrestling, because I'm a wrestling fan, I love wrestling. So he was like, they want to talk about wrestling, they have a lot of people who like wrestling, but they don't know wrestling. So I came in, I talked about wrestling for a bit. And I think somebody influential heard till today. I don't know who that person was.
Wow.
Somebody influential heard and he came and he was like, who was that person just talking now? They were like, oh yeah, it's this guy. He's like, oh, that's pretty nice. You should consider it. And then another person called me up. That was Maharaja Kingsley. I don't know if you're familiar with him. I
heard, yeah.
Yeah, Maharaja. He called me up one day. He was talking about movies, my second passion. Wow. And so, my friend who was working there got me in the studio with him and we talked about movies. I'll never forget that we talked about The Dark Knight Rises. That was a Batman movie then. And everybody was surprised because to me, it was just me coming to talk about what I knew and what I liked. And everybody else was like, who is this guy?
The depths.
Yeah, and I guess it comes because I've always listened to radio. Since I was a kid, one of my gifts that I got was a satellite radio from my dad, one of those ones that picks up everywhere, the UK and all of that. And I used to listen to that, I used to love the music. I used to find it repetitive, but I used to understand why it was repetitive. So gradually, because of the fact that you could use radio and do other things, you're driving, there's radio, you're fighting, there's radio stuff. So it was a no-brainer when, Kingsley was like, think about this. I know you want to do something else right now, but think about maybe just considering broadcasting for a bit.
Okay.
So thank you. Big shout out to Maharaja for that. He's one of the people on my journey. There's a long list of people on my journey. So the next person who helped me on my journey was a person called Mr. Samson Fiberesima.
Okay.
He's currently heading Radio Rivers, but then he was heading, can I mention names of stations?
Of course.
Oh yeah, he was heading Rhythm 93.7 then. And LD was the head of stations then. So my dad was friends with Mr. Sampson. They'd known each other a while ago. So he said, okay, this thing that you say that you want to try, that's another person I really, really, really appreciate, my dad.
Your dad, yeah.
My mom didn't get it. Like, she didn't get it till now. I don't think she quite does, but he did.
Okay.
Yeah, because he always felt that, you know, I had the talent for it. Even though I was pushing in this direction, it always felt like a struggle. You know, the whole oil and gas thing. Lucrative, yes, but not for everybody. And not as secure as people would think. You could wake up one day and you're gone.
You're gone, yeah.
So he talked to Mr. Fiberesima, and I'll never forget that day I went for the interview. And Mr. Fiberesima told me first, he was like that, yo, this is radio, this is broadcast. The fact that your dad knows me has helped you to get to this point. But if you don't have it, you know, they will never let you on air. Just keep that in mind so that you'll not be angry with me later. You know, he was laughing about it, but he was serious, and I understood. I got into the studio with LD, and he told me the same thing. He said, yeah, you can't teach charisma. It's something that either you have it or you don't. So if it's there, then we can work. If not, maybe he can find somewhere else for me. But when it comes to on air, he guards it very, very jealously. So he was there in the studio. There was another guy, a producer called Sammy. We did the interview, did the audition, and it went good enough. You know, the first thing LD asked me was like, have you done this before? No, just, you know, featured with people and everything, but I've heard a lot of people do it over time, you know, and all that. So that's basically how it kicked off, you know. And I started with something that a lot of people in my generation will be familiar with, but new people would not. I was a freelancer.
Okay.
Almost all of us who broke into radio.
I got into radio the same way.
We're freelancers.
That was the same way.
Freelancers, for y'all out there, freelance means you work for free. Like, it's a thin line between exploitation and, you know,
of course, yes,
maximizing, you know, talent and everything. But yeah, I worked freelance for a bit, and I worked with great people. I worked with Mr. Rob. I worked with Zubi. I worked with the late Ife. Ife was wonderful to me. Of course, LD. LD is a legend. Shegun Owolabi. Shegun helped me with the news. I wasn't really into news like that, but opportunity had it, and I was there one day, and he had to always do the news, and I did it. So Shegun gradually started pushing me from there to also start to enjoy the news and appreciate the news, not just to do it, but, you know, also appreciate it while you do it, because people would know. And it was actually the news that started getting me traction, yeah. Gradually that started getting traction, and then the shows as well. And then I did a late night caller with a person called Arefa. Hey, Arefa. Arefa did wonderfully for me. Now, Arefa would come to the studio sometimes and she'd just let me do my thing while she was watching closely, and then she'd give me pointers and all of that. And gradually, it started with night radio. And from the night radio, people started knowing my name. And then from that, people who knew me started relating that, oh, you're the Alan on radio. Yeah, that's me. And a lot of them were like, you're quiet. How are you doing that? And I'm like, I don't know. It just feels right. You know, so from there, that's how I got into rhythm. Worked there for a bit, freelance. Gradually, things became different. I got so many wonderful things from that place, yo. I got the experience, I got connections, I met wonderful people. I got to Dubai, yeah, that's nice. And it was from there that I understood that radio is where I wanted to be. My parents supported me at that point in time because, you know, the money wasn't really coming in. So I appreciate them so much. My family, my friends, Kobe, you know, Nagus, a lot of people were there for me. If people are not there for you, well, back then anyway, if people were not there for you in broadcasting, you would not go far. That was just the only thing.
You've touched on a lot of points. You said something very profound. You said you can't teach charisma. You said radio. I was having this conversation before we came on the show. I said radio is one of those industries where you have to go through the apprenticeship. It's unfortunate that some kids don't get it. You know, they just want to come and they go straight to the microphone, but it's just, you have to go through that apprenticeship. And yeah, there's a thin line between exploitation and you being used and, you know, abused, all of that. You also talked about your parents being very, very supportive. And I found it very, I think we share something. I studied engineering mechanical.
Okay.
And yes, my mom is very, very supportive. That's where they want it to be, yo. He's very supportive. But when I tell people I studied engineering, they're like, what are you doing here? this is where I have peace. Yes, I understand that there's no money much in radio, but there's fulfillment in it, and there's a lot of things you can also do within the arena,
sphere,
within the sphere. So I'll still take it back to you. You've got a lot of experience, and before I talk about, I have two questions for you. When did you get your first big break on radio? And the second one will be, what's your advice for young lads and ladies that, have interest?
Okay, my first major big break was after that. I think it was I think I would call that my big break. It was a Saturday morning because I was given the Saturday belt. Okay. There was nothing happening on that Saturday morning, so it was like practice ground for me to, sink my teeth into it, get to know everything. And initially when I got on radio, I thought, I know it all, I can do it at all. But then I watched people do it for a bit. So you highlighted something. It's important that, no matter how much talent you think you have, you got to watch people do it. You got to see how it's done and then put a little bit of yourself into it. So right now, I'm like an amalgamation of so many people I've worked with. There's a little bit of LD, there's a little bit of Shegun, there's a little bit of Spaceman, there's a little bit of a lot of people. So I think my real big break on radio kicked off one random Saturday morning. For some reason, Shegun Owolabi couldn't get to the studio on time.
I get it.
So somebody came into the studio and they were like, okay, the news is about to go on. We need somebody. Here, take it. I couldn't rehearse. I couldn't do anything. I was on the spot, and if I didn't do it, the news would fail. So I just went there, no experience, never done it before, and I did it. And as soon as I finished, Shegun comes in and he's like, that was good. And from there, we started seeing messages like, who is this guy that just did the news? Because that Saturday morning, he had a show on Saturday mornings called Viewpoint.
Yeah, Viewpoint, yes.
So anybody here, like governors were listening, and different big people. So it was big for me. And that was when people knew my name. Essentially, they were like, oh, Alan. And from there, it started with shows and then interviews. It's so amazing as a broadcaster, you're sitting in a studio with a celebrity that he's rich, he's famous, he's all these things. But this person is calling you sir, because of the position that you hold. Exactly. So there I was, a freelancer, and I had people in the studio. You had people like Daddy Shoki. You had people like Two-Face coming into the studio, and I'm doing interviews with them in my first year in radio. And they say, hey sir, chairman and everything. Initially, I was trying to be modest and all that, but the LD called me to the side and was like, yo, these people appreciate what you do. They appreciate your job.
Your art.
Modesty is good, but you should still be proud. So be proud without being arrogant. When they call you sir, call you all these things, you call them sir back. Or you be friendly with them, don't be shy, don't be this thing, do your thing. And from there, I've talked to so many people. I can't even count the number of people I've interviewed at this point in time. I've interviewed the governor once too. That was fun. Even though I didn't quite like politics, but I made it work because I brought it to my side of things.
Yeah.
The more, friendly side, the more human interest side of things. So that's where that worked. So I think my big break came when people could tell what I could do, right? It wasn't just, this guy is here, he's hungry, he's talented. This is a showcase now. I was put on the spot and I was able to do it. I kicked it off from there.
Okay, I'll touch on something very important. I remember my journey on radio when I was kickstarting. There's always this pressure of, let's say for instance, you're given a script on the spot, like do this. And at the back of your mind, you're still thinking, is my boss listening? Will I get it right? And all of that. And that kind of pressure you're trying, but at the back of your mind, you're still thinking.
Yeah. That never leaves you. That never leaves you.
You used to get nervous?
Oh, hell yeah. Because when you think about it, radio, I guess even the worst radio station out there can boast of more than 1 million people at some point in time listening. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Our radio is live. So if you mess up, it's not just your boss listening. It's that girl that you like.
Yeah, it's out there.
That you told, listen to me.
Someone said, a doctor will make a mistake in the theater, he'll just cover it up. A lawyer will make a mistake and they'll go back, they'll appeal the case. But for we broadcasters, it's out there. You can't, retract or you can't do anything about it. You just have to live with it and then you move on.
And the only one other blessing that I feel like I had was that River State listeners are not cruel. They could be mean, but not cruel. So they're the kind of people that they understand mistakes. So if you make a mistake and you laugh about it, they'll laugh with you.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So they won't really make it. But yeah, every single time you turn on the mic, you're on the spot. But gradually you start to feel more of the duty and less of the fear.
Okay.
So it's the duty that makes you do things right. Because there's a lot of people counting on you to do things right. They're waiting for you for the message. They're waiting for you for the truth. Because people still always come to mass media for the truth. So you have to always be on your A game, but you always have to also be relatable. So it's that relatability that could help you with the nerves. Because you have to know that you're human. Okay,
you talked about the A game. My question with the amount of years you've put into this industry and the experience you've garnered, if you could look back in time and you could say something to your younger self, what would it be?
What would I say to my younger self? Be more frugal. There's that. Okay, what I would say, save money. What I would say to my younger self, maximize every opportunity. Because like I said, I met a lot of very influential people in my career, Some of those meetings could have been turned into opportunities. Okay. But some of them are just left as meetings, In some cases, there were opportunities that I started up, but I didn't follow through on, so there's that as well. So I would tell myself that, you need to be frugal, you need to maximize opportunities and follow through. Procrastination could be a problem. It could be. So yeah, those things it's definitely what I would tell myself.
All right, Alan, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Anytime.
It means a lot.
All right, welcome to the Morning Rush on the Beat99.9, the heartbeat of Otago. If you're listening to me right now, you are awake, and hopefully you are an earthling. If you're an alien, welcome to Earth. It's nice that you chose Nigeria as your first stop. Most of you guys like to go to America, but it's cool. Speaking of stops, we'll be taking a few stops around the world courtesy of the news as part of the upload from the BBC to the Punch to the Guardian. And you, let me know the stories that you want us to talk about, and we shall go in depth right here on the Morning Rush on the Beat. My name is Alan. You didn't know? Let's get on with the show.
All right, guys, glad to have you back on the show. It's now time to rev things up, and there's a game I play on the show called the Song Association Game, and I'll just give you a word, and for every word I give to you, you have to sing me a song or mention a song that has that word in it. You understand the game? And you have 60 seconds.
To finish the
you have 10 seconds. 10 seconds for each word. You get it. So you have 10 seconds. All right, so for every word I give to you, you have 10 seconds or less than 10 seconds to sing me a song that has that word.
Let's do it.
I like your energy.
Yeah. If I feel that, well, I did.
Oh my God, this is going to mess with me right now. Okay, the first one is happy.
Cause I'm happy. That was easy.
All right, of course that was easy. The second one is woman.
I too like woman. Is that a confession? Maybe.
Maybe. The third one is never.
I will never say never.
Away.
Time. So easy.
Time.
Wow. Time goes by so slowly. Madonna.
By who?
Madonna. That's Caught Up.
All right, young.
Forever young. I wanna be forever young.
Okay, by who?
That's Alphaville.
Okay, somebody. This is easy.
Love Somebody.
By who?
Morgan Wallen.
Flower.
Life is a flower. Ace of Days.
Think.
Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Star?
Endless.
My endless love.
Beautiful.
That's it. Beautiful, beautiful. That's who sang that song? Wait, that was. Whoa, okay, I can't remember. I remember the name of the song.
Kiss.
Kiss from a Rose Seal.
Girl.
The girl. I won't say the girl is mine. Yeah, the girl is mine. That's the song. Girl is mine. Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney.
Okay, hot. H-O-T.
So hot, you're on fire.
By who?
That was Burning Up by R. Kelly. Abi?
You're not sure?
Burn it up.
You're not sure?
No, wait. Yes, R. Kelly. Yes. That's my final answer.
Hot.
Well, yeah, hot is in the song. So hot, you're on fire. Yeah, Burn It Up. Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Oh, it has to be the name of the song.
Whether a name or if it's
part of the song. Yeah, so hot, you're on fire. Burn it up.
Tears.
Wow, I don't know why tears is not coming. Don't you know my tears could cause an inferno? That's the lyrics. I can't remember the name of the song.
What about Wall?
Wall.
Yes.
Climbing the Walls, Backstreet Boys.
Night.
The Night is Still Young, Nicki Minaj.
And finally, Door. Yeah. Gotcha.
Funny, I know, right?
Okay.
Boko, busy Boko. Open the door to your heart, make I enter.
You got it. Okay, Alan, thank you so much.
That was fun. Harder than I thought, though.
Okay.
You mentioned the word and there's 10,000 words just start going through your head at once. It's hard to pick out the right one.
Yes. Yeah. So, what's your parting shot?
Parting shot, I like to tell this to all people who want to get into broadcasting. Yeah, one of the key things that you need to keep in mind is consistency. There's going to be humility, and you have to be ready to, I wouldn't say suffer, but you're going to endure a bit. But I guarantee you that if your motives are right and if you meet the right people, it will be worth it, because you'll be making a difference in people's lives every single time you turn on the mic, and that is a feeling that money cannot buy. Like knowing that you're influencing millions of people with just your words every single time you go on air is great. And whenever the opportunity presents itself, because broadcasting is one of those things where the appreciation comes mostly from the listeners, but not mostly from the people in it. So when you get the chance to appreciate people who helped you, always do that. So if you don't mind, I'd like to appreciate a few people.
Go ahead, man.
So, big appreciation to Samson Fibresima, to LD, Mr. Robinson, Shagun Owolabi, Spaceman. Spaceman was influential in a very, very key way that even he doesn't seem to understand. Spaceman showed me early enough that it's possible to be a rock star OAP. Like a OAP that is as big as the celebrities they talk to. Because even when he was in Enugu, I was hearing that dude's name. I was in Port Harcourt. That's one of the things that when I was considering, I'm like, okay, so not only would I be making a difference, but I could also be famous and popular. So big shout out to Spaceman. He's one of the people who showed that this could be something that could get you influence. So the list is long, but I think I'm going to stop there. Of course, Mega Electrics Nigeria Limited, they gave me a chance like this.
A platform.
Yeah, a platform to even go higher. And I'm still with them now. So when the time is right, I'll give you guys a proper, I appreciate you for what you've done. But for now, we're still doing it. So we'll kick it like that.
Yeah, you touched on Spaceman. I'll just say this. Spaceman is an OG. Like he is Spaceman. When I kickstarted on radio with Family Love FM, as a rookie, he was heading the morning show, the Hello Nigeria show. So I was also learning from him. And till date, I still pick,
There's a lot to pick. There's a lot to pick.
So that's what
he always used to say, just pay attention. That's all you need to do. Pay attention, and then you'll be able to make your own thing work while not spoiling things that worked before. Okay,
time is of the essence right now. The last one is you have to wrap up the show and you just tell people to keep watching Jerican Show. So you do you have to wrap up the show.
My name is Alan Bright. I'm currently on the Beat99.9FM Port Harcourt. You can tune in and listen to me weekday mornings. And for Jerican, you can find him live on the Jerican Show and on social media at the Jerican Show. Make sure you tune in, or else I will find you. I won't kill you, but I'll find you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.